Sure you know by now, I'm Robson Green, the actor who likes to dabble in a spot of fishing. In fact, for over 30 years, I was quite happy just fishing for salmon and trout on the tranquil rivers of the northeast.
But a couple of years ago, that all changed.
Over 2 series of extreme fishing, my eyes have been open to some of the most mind-blowing fishing on the planet.
Oh my God! Look at this creature!
I've had the lows. No! And I've had the highs. And quite frankly, I'm addicted.
Where is why we came here? Look at that fish!
Now I'm back for more. Much more.
Yes! It's time for the Extreme Fishing World Tour!
I'm going to be spending the next 4 out of 5 months on the road.
Did it! Yes! We did it!
Traveling over 60,000 miles to 40 different countries on 4 different continents.
Yes! And he's in! Yes!
This is angling heaven. All in the most extreme conditions imaginable. I'll be chucking a hook into 9 different seas and oceans. Meeting all kinds of crazy fishermen.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
And risking life and limb. All in pursuit of the scariest.
Oh my goodness! Yes!
Weirdest.
I have always wanted to catch one of these!
Most powerful fish on the planet.
This is the longest I have ever had to fight a fish.
Yes! It's my biggest ever challenge.
Dead fish.
Oh yes.
We got a fish on! Yes! We got him! This is Extreme Fishing!
So far on my world tour, I've had an amazing adventure in Africa.
Hakuna Matata!
I learned fishing the Chinese way and had a surreal stay in stunning Sri Lanka.
That's a fish!
Now I'm off to Brazil to fish the most famous river of them all, the Amazon. The Amazon Basin is not just one river, it's a vast system of hundreds of rivers, home to thousands of species of fish. It's big, it's wild, and it scares me to death. So no more cozy airport hotel rooms for me.
Goodbye bed, goodbye television, electricity, I love you. Goodbye my beautiful room, I'm off. And I don't know if I'm coming back. Because I might get eaten by a piranha.
This really is a journey into the unknown. To get to South America, it's more than 4,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean to the world's biggest rainforest. There it is, the Amazon, the largest freshwater system in the world. Which means only one thing: thousands of fish. I'm starting my journey in the jungle city of Manaus. It might be isolated, but it's huge. Over 1.5 million people. The whole place is a bustling bazaar of everything you might need to survive in the jungle. Only in Manaus do they sell speedboats at the supermarket. And it's not only busy by day. Well before dawn, the fish market springs into action.
So every morning these boats coming 4:30, 6 days a week, every year, offload these extraordinary species of fish. It's then bought and taken up the hill to the market. Manaus, 1.5 million mouths to feed. Makes sense.
Fishing the river is for tough guys. Here, men are men. In fact, even the women are men.
Ooh, pan left. Oh, here's the boy goes. Listen. Woo! This is mad.
But I've come to get my first glimpse of one of the world's biggest freshwater fish. The fillets alone can weigh 70 kilos. To put that in context, I weigh 70 kilos. It's the pirarucu.
If there is one fish I want to get from the Amazon, it's this fella here. He is the big daddy of the Amazonian basin.
But I won't find pirarucu near Manaus, so before I travel deeper into the jungle, I'm going for something smaller and deadlier. 2 hours north is Balbina Lake. Created by a 1970s hydroelectric project, the lake is host to the killer fish with the most frightening reputation of all. It's the piranha. And helping me find it is a local guy who knows every move of this infamous beast.
Yo soy Robson.
Yo soy Tarzan.
¿Qué?
Tarzan.
Tarzan. Your name is Tarzan? Yeah?
Yes.
Is your wife called Jane? And do you have an annoying pet chimpanzee called Cheetah? There, is this a good time of year to catch piranha, Tarzan?
Da pra pegar.
Yeah? Now, can I look at your hands? 5, 5, 5. It's good. He has all his fingers. This means he's a very, very good piranha fisherman.
Tarzan may not have lost any fingers to piranha, but I feel like I've lost my senses trying to catch them. Especially when I see where they live.
Wow. Hey, look at this location. That's astonishing.
And it's the perfect home for thousands of black piranha. Oh Lord. Piranhas aren't huge, but they've got teeth so sharp they can bite through metal.
That is one big hook for such a small fish.
Yes.
My first cast for piranha.
They're also attracted to the sound of struggling prey.
Getting some bites here.
There's something down there, but I'm not expecting this. They've nicked my bait.
I thought they were just nibbles, Tarzan. I just felt, shh. Their teeth must be like razor blades. Dear me.
And whatever's down there doesn't go away, because after a few minutes, I'm in.
Yes. I think I've got a piranha. I think it's a decent size, Tarzan. That's right. So quick. Size. Look at that fish. Now that's a piranha, Tarzan. Hey?
I think I'll let Tarzan pick it up first.
We've got about a pound in weight there. And can you imagine coming across a shoal of these? Please take a look at the teeth. Some of the indigenous tribes use the teeth as tools and cutting equipment. They are that sharp. Famous, notorious, and incredibly vicious. Do not be fooled by how small this fish is. It could do a lot of damage. Just give you an idea of how tough this fish is. It's got a metal knife here. I'm just going to place it in its mouth. Just clamp down on that knife. How did he make the scratches out there? That's what it does to metal. Imagine what it would do to you.
In packs, piranhas are perfectly capable of stripping cattle to the bone in a matter of minutes. While that's a rare occurrence, it's still pretty terrifying. This is fishing on pure adrenaline. I've got to get another.
Yeah, we got another one. Hey, I'm doing well today. I think this is might be bigger. Oh, goodness, they take. This is like a hit and run. They grab it and they take off. Oh, that is a good size piranha. Tarzan, look at that. Oh my goodness, you imagine coming across a swarm of fish like that. Look at the armour it's got in there. That has to be one of the most extraordinary looking fish. Look at the colours, look at the teeth, look at the location. I'm with a fisherman called Tarzan. It doesn't get any better than this. I'm hysterically happy on extreme fishing with an extreme fish.
Obrigado, Tarzan. And I've still got all my fingers. For my next adventure though, I'm heading up the Black River, also known as the Rio Negro. And it's so big, I can't see the other side.
That's just massive. It's the River Negro. It's about 8 miles across? 6 miles up there, going to Solomos, which then forms what we know as the Amazon River. It's just vast.
Sport fishermen from around the world are coming to find peacock bass, a legendary fighter. And now's a good time.
The river's really low, which means all of the fish are now congregated together in a much smaller space.
During the upcoming rains, the river will rise over 60 feet. My hotel solves this problem in an unusual way. It's built on stilts. Offering rainforest tours, it caters mainly to eco-tourists.
Never come across a hotel like this before. Oh, look at what's waiting for me at reception.
Say, eco-cheese. Helping me find the Rio Negro's best peacock bass is Chief Fishing Guide Mike Cartwright.
Mike, how are you, sir? Robson, how are you? So why do fishermen from all over the world come to fish for the peacock bass, Mike?
Because it's a good fighting fish.
Yeah?
And sport fishermen, they like fishes that give a lot of fight.
Am I with the right guy to catch a peacock bass today?
You are, sir.
Excellent. I like the way you're thinking, sir. Come on, then.
It's late afternoon, and we're heading a couple of miles upriver to these deserted islands.
Now, because the water's so low, Mike, we're going to be trawling, yes?
Yeah, we'll trawl.
Mike Cartwright. Doesn't really strike me as a Brazilian name.
No, it's English.
It's English. Where were you born, Mike?
Born in British Guyana.
Yeah. And what brought you here?
Messy divorce. Yeah, she took everything.
I know, divorce. It's very stressful, isn't it? Trying to bloody fish. I've been there, Mike. I've been there.
After sharing our pain, I'm feeling a new brotherhood here with Mike. But we're soon interrupted.
Oh, yeah.
Go on?
Yeah.
Pull it.
Come on, don't worry.
Okay, it's small, but it's my first ever peacock bass, and I'm over the moon.
I've caught a little peacock bass. Now, what gives this fish its name? Why is it called the peacock of the bass family? Look at that eye on the tail fin there. It has a cavernous mouth and a ravenous appetite. But I'm not hungry enough to eat the small one, so I think we should put him back, Mike, yeah?
Yes.
There you go, Winnie. He's away. What do you think of that, then?
That's good, sir.
Yeah, it's good stuff. You taught me well. You taught me well.
But can I catch something bigger? I want to experience this legendary fight more than anything, but time is marching on. 15 minutes from sunset, and there's still no dinner on the boat.
All that's missing from this beautiful Brazilian picture, this beautiful Brazilian sunset, these two beautiful fishermen, is a bloody big fish. That's all that's missing.
Big enough to eat.
It's just big enough to show people.
Yes.
Time runs out. But we've got a plan. I don't like getting up before dawn, but brother Mike here seems even more unhappy. But we both know this is when fish feed.
Oh, come on. Please make getting up at 3:45 worthwhile. Please.
As dawn breaks, they begin to bite.
Oh, God, take.
They're snapping at the lure.
Damn. Got it. You gone?
I've lost 3 in a row.
I mean, come on, Brazil, give me a break. Travel 4,000 miles to experience the awesome power of the peacock bass. I wanted to experience what all the fuss was about. And quite frankly, it's a lot of fuss about nothing.
And finally, after 3 hours...
Yeah, we're in. It ain't over till the peacock bass sings.
Ring it in.
For a fish this size, this bass has got real strength.
Just to show you how powerful that take was, look what it's done to the hook. And that's only about a 2.5 pound beautiful peacock bass. Many variety of the species. You've got the 3-bar, you've got the butterfly, and this is the speckled peacock bass because of the speckles along the lateral side there. And you've got 3 vertical lines going down its side there. Beautiful coloration. Well, the philosophy of this show is we eat what we catch. We're going to keep this one. Lunch is served. To cap off that great experience, we run into a school of pink river dolphins. According to Mike, I can go swimming with them. Working nearby is local dolphin expert Igor Andrad. Okay, where are they?
I'm a little nervous, but I'm expecting a memorable experience.
Here, Flipper. Here. What? Oh!
It is.
You see, I'm alright, I'm calm as hell.
What I don't know is that Igor here has been feeding them, and they think I'm good for a snack as well.
There's about 3 of them round me here. Hey, hello. Just have a little nip there. There's about 4 of them here, getting pretty scared. Friendly. Come on, lads. Cut me some slack here. I just want to show the world how wonderful and peaceful and friendly you are. I didn't like any part of that. I hated every second. Sorry, but that's the truth. Love to say all that, aren't dolphins wonderful? Aren't they incredible creatures? Don't they have a life-changing effect on you? Not today. Not on me. Sorry.
Frankly, I'd rather eat the things. But I'll have to settle for something smaller.
This is the fish that you have caught. I think we worked very hard for this lunch. It took us 2 days to get this.
2 days.
How have you prepared it?
Fried it,
Fried?
seasoned and fried.
That, sir, It's worth the wait. Not only is it a beautiful looking fish, it's beautifully tasting as well. Thanks, Michael.
Brazil's got bigger fish to fry than that peacock bass, but it seems I've got to go much further into the Amazon basin to find them. It's back to Manaus to prepare.
There you go. I'm not good for the camouflage. Oh, this might be it.
Which one might this be?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. You like that one? This is it. Do I look like an adventurer?
The plan is to travel hundreds of miles into the deepest and scariest part of the virgin jungle. I'm heading for a reserve where I can fish for a monster pirarucu.
Hola, Dorothy.
To give me a lift, I've just got time for a pint. But this is no Guinness. This is the caffeine-loaded fruit guarana.
Oh, that's good. See, if you're going to go fishing for one of the largest freshwater fish in the world, and probably one of the most ferocious, I'm going to need all the energy I can get.
But there's one more thing in this city that I have to see before I go. It's an historic opera house, built from the profits of the rubber industry. Made from the finest European materials, it's attracted the greatest singing stars ever since. They must have lost mine and Jerome's number.
How beautifully ornate is this place?
Rehearsing today of the Amazon Philharmonic. I have to keep reminding myself that I'm in the middle of a theatre, in the middle of Manaus, in the middle of the Amazon jungle. A place into which I'm about to travel quite a lot deeper.
Travelled all this way, there's no one here to greet me. It's not what I'm used to. I was hoping for a crowd, singing, putting a flower necklace round my neck. Place is bloody deserted.
I've landed in the tiny fishing community of Jarawa, where life revolves around the river. Unless, that is, it's 5 p.m. on Thursdays.
Of course. I'm in Brazil. They're playing football. They're all Amazonian lasses. Well, yeah, my name is Robson. It's certainly the best looking side I've ever played against. Oh, God! Referee!
Jarawa sits on the riverbank right up against the dense jungle. Because of the forest, there's hardly anywhere to grow crops like this corn. But these girls won't sacrifice their footy pitch for a bit of veg.
I tell you what, there's a couple of them got some kicks on them like a bloody mule. And they're fit. Yes, go on, you must score. You must score. Yes! Excellent! Is this where we kiss each other? Wee, come on, let's kiss.
With charm like that, I've never looked less like scoring in my life. They may not grow many crops in Jarawa, but no matter. I'm told there's food aplenty in the river.
I've never in my entire life seen so many fish in such a small area. There has to be 5,000 to 10,000 fish.
See all those little ripples on the surface? That's fish feeding. So my assumption is that there's thousands of small fish feeding. There's going to be some big ones knocking about as well. Come on! Today I'm out with Fernando and Juma, a father and son team.
Robson, buenos días, Good. Juma.
We're after fish for dinner, and Fernando's wife Elijah is expecting us to catch more of these arowanas. I can't wait. Heading upriver, it's a normal day for these guys, but I'm not prepared for this.
Oh my goodness! What's that?
These are black caiman, a kind of alligator growing up to 15 foot long. They're night hunters, eating fish, snakes, birds, actors. But I'm cool with it. I'm cool.
The wildlife is incredible. That's me in front of me there. At least 1,000 egrets. We've got cormorants, we're all various types of vultures.
This has to be the wildest place I've ever been to, and the further we go, the weirder it gets.
We're jumping the net! Jumping the net! Look at that! They all nearly jumped in the boat!
I can't be sure, but fish sometimes do this to avoid predators. I wonder what's down there.
First fish of the day! It's a start!
We've travelled nearly an hour upstream so that we can put a net right across the creek.
Jamal's just told me we've got to be quite quick and very quiet. Some guys up there have been causing quite a lot of noise, and hopefully the commotion those guys are making will flush the fish into our net.
The beaters are driving the fish downstream, and our net is right in the way.
So Fernando, we can get pacu, pirana, payara, arowana.
Arowanas are what Fernando's wife Elijah wanted us to get today. And there's movement in the net already.
Arowana?
Excellent. We're in luck. Yes.
Oof.
Yes. Well done, Juma. It looks like a baby pirarucu, but it's not. It's an arowana.
And what makes this fish extraordinary? The hydrodynamics of its design. Its compressed look means it can fling itself out the water about 3 or 4 feet and feed on insects. That's its main diet. Flies, spiders, and has this extraordinary lower jaw design. And you notice the arowana because of these barbels on the front. Now the reason for these barbels, well, I don't know the reason, and neither does anyone else. They don't actually know what the purpose of these are for. But that is a beautiful looking fish and very, very tasty. Hey, Juma! Boom. Yes, yeah. Arowana, the flying fish of the Amazon. Excellent.
And there's more.
Look at that. Oh, they're coming in thick and fast, everybody!
I get excited when we catch fish. Yes. But we're not done yet.
And there's a fourth. Oh, and here's a fifth.
Half a dozen arowana in half a dozen minutes.
Well done. Eh?
Well done. Thanks, lads. Thanks for your help.
That was some experience. Plus, as Amazonian hunter-gatherers, we've caught supper.
Elijah will be very, very pleased, Fernando. Look at that. Fishing is in the blood around here. Father and son out fishing. You know, there's moments where I really, genuinely love my job. This is one of them.
Fernando and his family don't just rely on the river for food. It's their washing place, their drinking water and transport system. In the wet season, almost constant rain sees the water level rise dramatically, flooding the forest and often the village itself. It's quiet here, but it's no easy life. For them, anyway.
I know what you're thinking, lazy Geordie git. I've done my bit for the day. Elijah's going to do the cooking. Right, where these guys are eating it, you start with a dried root veg called manioc. Like eating boiled bearings. And then you put the fish in. The fish is lovely. Ah, yeah, the cheek. Bloody lovely, perfect. That's the best part of a fish, the cheek. That's stunning.
Thanks for today. I'm gaining confidence about being here, and I'm going to need it to catch my real target in the Amazon, the legendary Pirarucu. We heard them today. They're everywhere. And other fishermen in the village are catching them regularly. But getting one myself could be my biggest challenge ever. So it's an early night for me.
There you go. Bang on time. 10 to 3 in the morning. Not being woken by crocodiles or mosquitoes. No, good old-fashioned cockerel. He's been doing that for the last 10 minutes. If it continues, I'm going to dispatch it, harvest it, and have chicken for breakfast.
Sleep or no sleep, my focus is on catching a giant Pirarucu. Just my luck then that I've arrived at the height of the hunting season, and there's business to discuss.
This guy over here is a government official, and he's going to keep a record of the catch. Just a few years back, the numbers of Pirarucu were declining, and George here pioneered quite a system, and since then a balance has been kept and the fish have prospered, so actually the numbers are increasing.
This village is part of a vast reserve with a sustainable fishing policy. This year's quota isn't yet fished, and the season's nearly up.
He's telling the guys in the next 10 days they are allowed to catch over 500 Pirarucu. 500 of the largest freshwater fish in the world. It's going to be an interesting week.
I'm teaming up with George. One look and I know he's the business. Only a tough guy could get away with that outfit. I'm full of nerves about catching this fish, but what really worries me is how we're going to do it.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there's no fishing rods on board. There's no net.
because the method we're using today is harpooning. It's the method they use here, and it's very effective. It's also very brutal. In a place where nets get caught up in swamps and heavy-duty fishing gear costs a fortune, harpoons are simple and effective. We've come to a humid spot that reminds me of Jurassic Park. And now, we wait. I've just seen something surface that was about 7 or 8 feet in length. Holy moly. The pirarucu is an air-breathing fish. It must come to the surface to breathe, and that's when you have to strike. So in about 10, 12 minutes time, it's going to rise again, hopefully nearer to me and George. But you never know where it's going to surface.
There's launch. Is that a hit or you in?
It's a miss.
Oh, unlucky George.
But this hunt has only just started. What's that? Is that an Arab? Is that a pirarucu?
No.
No, it's a crocodile. Oh, it's a crocodile.
Yeah, correct.
Just nearly harpooned a crocodile. That's how on edge I am. Yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing, but at least I'm with a guy who does.
We're just in a bit of stealth mode at the minute. George is just bringing us closer to this fella who keeps rising. Any second now, this fish is going to rise again.
Oh dear.
Oh, I just missed it. By about 25 yards.
Even when I see a chance, I'm not quick enough.
Laughing, can you hear him laughing? He's going.
We move on, looking for our monster fish.
Shit.
After 2 hours, we're struggling. But with each fish worth around £200 and a quota of 500 to catch, George cranks it up. But we can't get one.
And that, George, you keep laughing at me, but you've caught all as well.
The pirarucu is my dream fish, but in this crushing heat and humidity, I've got to put my faith in George to get the first strike.
Oh! George, you got it?
Yes, George is in. It's a sight for sore eyes. We're hooked on and the fish is running. And then we're hooked off.
What? It's come off. Are you f***ing kidding me, mate?
Oh, I'm devastated. We came so close. And look what it's left us.
Oh my God.
The single scale of a giant pirarucu.
After nearly 7 hours, at least we've caught part of the pirarucu. George, I don't know how you can laugh.
I cannot believe we have just lost it. Look at that scale. How big was the fish?
What we need to do now, George, is to catch the bit that is attached to this. Please don't let the day end like this.
All we can do is wait for one to surface. And what a place to wait. A sweltering Amazonian swamp.
What a shot! George is in! Brilliant! Well done! George, what a shot!
It's hooked all right, but I'm praying this one doesn't come off the line.
Oh, steady, George. Skills.
George pulls the harpoon back into the boat, with the fish still on the line.
The hook's detached itself from the harpoon, and hopefully embedded itself in the fish, and hopefully we will have a periroku. George.
That's if we can get it into the boat.
George, do you need this? Has to be the biggest priest I've ever seen in my life. Oh!
Holy moly, we've got about 100 pound plus on the end of this line here.
George, do we club it?
It's so big we have to finish it off with the wooden club, known as a priest. It's sustainable fishing, and these are traditional methods. You may not like it, but this is how they do it here.
Yeah, okay. Oh, George.
At last, we can get this unbelievable creature on board.
God, we got over 100 pounds worth of... Oh! Look at this fish! Oh. Really sorry, folks. Can't pick it up. It's one of the heaviest fish I've ever caught in my life. And to date, has to be the most extraordinary looking fish. No other word can describe this fish other than epic. Look at the scales and look at the coloration. I mean, there are many amazing things about this fish, but one of the most extraordinary facts is that it's an air breather. It extracts oxygen from the air. An incredibly complex, beautiful, stunning hunter. George, we are going to party tonight. Obrigado. Obrigado. Our story is complete. Time to party. No.
I've had an amazing journey up the Amazon River. I've caught monsters, swum with them.
I thought you said they were friendly.
Seen things I couldn't have imagined.
Look at that.
Met the people who make a life here. And I caught the giant fish that rules these waters.
Oh, look at this fish.
It's been awesome. And if you thought that was impressive, wait till you see the next leg of my world tour in Senegal and Guinea-Bissau, where, with a little help from the local medicine man,
White testicles.
we're gonna catch fish. I experienced the biggest fish fest of my life.
Oh, we got 3-0, we got pack attack here.